Test, test. Testing.
Good morning and welcome to Rosslyn Hill Chapel, a spiritual home for open minds. I'm James Chirian Kandith, chapel elder and your worship assistant today. We are glad to have you join us this morning as we say farewell to our ministry assistant and ministry intern, Adam Slate, who is leading his final service here. Immediately afterwards, there will be a short celebratory reception, and all are invited. During the service, we have a creche for children aged 2 to 5 and a children's program, Bright Lights, for older children. Babies under 2 are welcome in the creche if accompanied by an adult. If you're watching at home, please join the virtual side aisle at midday for discussion and fellowship. The Zoom link was in the weekly email, and you can also find it in the YouTube description. And those of you in the chapel, do join us for refreshments in this side aisle after the service. Our bookcase library is now available every Sunday, where you can borrow books about Unitarianism and other world religions and philosophies too. If you wish to borrow a book, please write your details in the blue book before removing it. This afternoon, from 1 until 6, we'll be hosting the Celebrating Black Lives art show. Young artists from the Channing School will be displaying a selection of 2D and 3D works inspired by the chapel's Celebrating Black Lives project. The chapel will be open to all afternoon for visitors to explore the artwork and building, and tea with music will be served at 3 p.m. At 6 this evening, we have our regular 30-minute mindfulness. Then at 7, our evening gathering will be Heart and Soul, a contemplative spiritual gathering in which you can take time to reflect on life in the company of others. You can find information about these and all our activities in your service sheet and on our website. You can also pick up a copy of our Open Mind newsletter from the steward's table at the back of the chapel. Our collection will take place during the closing music. You will have an opportunity to make a donation in cash or by card. This month, the offering will be shared between the work of the chapel and our good cause for the month, Combat Stress, which provides clinical treatment and support for veterans from the British Armed Forces, focusing on those with complex mental health issues resulting from their experiences during military service. And I now hand over to Adam.
We now light our chalice, a symbol of our free and questioning Unitarian faith. We light this chalice with gratitude for shared moments and lessons learned, for the warmth of community and love that binds us. Even when paths diverge, this light remains, a symbol of all we've built together and all we carry forward. I will light one more candle as a prayer for peace for the people of Palestine, Lebanon, and Israel with the hope that we will find an end to the suffering there. And we light it in recognition of other conflicts currently taking place in the Ukraine, the Sudan, and elsewhere around the world. Whoever you are, and wherever you are on life's journey, there is a place for you here in our spiritual community. Whatever your race, gender, sexuality, class, age, physical or mental capability, we welcome you in the spirit of love. We come together each Sunday, and we like to get to know each other in this spiritual community. So please turn to someone near you, say your name, and welcome them to chapel this morning. And please listen out for the music, which will be your signal that this time of speaking has ended, and you can continue any conversations in the side aisle after the service. All right, I'm sensing some energy in the room today, so let us start with our first hymn. It's number 62, and hopefully everyone has a purple hymnal. It's Here We Have Gathered, and as is our custom, please listen for John to play it through once as an introduction, and then we'll rise in body or spirit and sing. seated. We now have our Time for All Ages. I would like to invite anyone who wants to come forward and join me at the front. We have a story, and I would like to remind everyone it is the time for all ages, so please don't feel like you have to be a kid to come on up. Can you all hear me? All right, how are you all doing? Good. Can we bring the sound up? Yeah, it sounds like some people are still having trouble. Test? How about now? Okay, good. All right. Well, this story this morning is called A Warm Place for Everyone. One sunny morning, Maya woke up excited. Today was Sunday, her favorite day of the week. Every Sunday, Maya and her family went to the big stone building at the end of their street, their Unitarian chapel. Maya loved her chapel. It was a place where everyone was welcome, no matter who they were or where they came from. She loved hearing stories about kindness and helping others. She especially loved the big, colorful stained glass windows that let the sunlight in and made rainbows on the walls. As Maya entered the chapel that day, she noticed a new family by the door. They looked around with wide eyes, unsure where to go. Maya remembered the first time that she came to chapel. She had been a little nervous too. So she tugged on her mom's sleeve and whispered, "Mom, I think they're new. Can I go say hi?" Her mom smiled and nodded. "That's very kind, Maya." Maya walked over with a big smile. "Hi, I'm Maya. This is my chapel. Do you want to come with me to Bright Lights?" The little boy, whose name was Sam, smiled back, and his family seemed to relax. Maya told them about Bright Lights, where they drew art, told stories, sang songs, and talked about helping others. That day, Maya's teacher, whose name was Aki, read a story about a little bird who built a nest with the help of all her friends. The bird's nest was like a little community, Aki explained. Each friend brought something special to make it a warm and safe place. After the story, Aki asked, "How do we make our chapel a warm and safe place for everyone?" Maya thought for a moment and then raised her hand. "I think we can help new people feel welcome, just like we welcomed Sam and his family today." Aki beamed and said, "That's a wonderful way to make our community strong, Maya." From then on, Maya felt proud to be part of a place where everyone worked together to make a welcoming, loving community, just like the little bird's nest. And now, anyone who would like to go with Aki, who's in the back, to Bright Lights can, and the rest of us will sing them out with the song is in your order of service. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. I invite you now into a time of prayer and meditation. We come together in fellowship each Sunday with hearts full of joy and full of concern. If you are holding someone in your heart this morning, I invite you to say their name aloud in the coming moments of stillness, so that we may also hold them in our prayers. Spirit of life and love, God of our hearts, we give thanks for those who bring us joy and pray for the safekeeping of those whom we hold in concern. For all those names spoken and unspoken, may they be surrounded by the loving kindness we offer them today. Blessed be, and amen.
To Be of Use by Marge, Piercy. The people I love the best jump into work head first, without dallying in the shallows, and swim off with sure strokes almost out of sight. They seem to become natives of that element, the black, sleek heads of seals bouncing like half-submerged balls. I love people who harness themselves, an ox to a heavy cart, who pull like water buffalo with massive patience, who strain in the mud and muck to move things forward, who do what has to be done again and again. I want to be with people who submerge in the task, who go into the fields to harvest and work in a row and pass the bags along, who are not parlor generals and field deserters, but move in a common rhythm when the food must come in or the fire be put out. The work of the world is common as mud. Botched, it smears the hands, crumbles to dust. But the thing worth doing well done has a shape that satisfies, clean and evident. Greek amphoras for wine or oil, hoppy vases that held corn, are put in museums, but you know they were made to be used. The pitcher cries for water to carry, and a person for work that is real.
Oh, thank you, James. Now let's sing our second hymn. It's number 88, Let It Be a Dance. And once again, John will play the through once as an intro, and then we'll rise in body or spirit. Please be seated. And let us enter a time of prayer, after which we will have music for reflection, at which time you may come forward to light a silent candle of joy or concern. Spirit of life, Spirit of love, Spirit of hope and justice, God known by many different names, you have given us a day unique from any other. You have connected us, all of us, with each other and with the world in ways that are largely a mystery to us. You have given us little instruction other than to be present in our own lives, to feel wonder at the creations of the universe, and to love one another. You have put gifts and challenges in our paths, joys and sorrows, strengths and frailties, some of which we have already encountered, and others we have yet to discover. On this unique day, may we receive exactly what it is that we need. Amen. Thank you, John. Wow, that was a fast 21 months. I can't believe we've already come to the end of my placement here. I'll always be grateful for our time together and how it's shaped me as a minister. You've welcomed me and challenged me, and I'm better for it. Before I get too far in, I want to recognize the internship committee that has supported me with their time, insight, and feedback. Roger Mason, Maddie Blitz, James Chirian-Kandath, Sabrina Edwards, and Derek McCauley, who chaired the group. Thank you all for your willingness to navigate some uncharted waters. I also want to thank Heidi Faraday and John Hands, with whom I've stayed during my time in London, and who have given me the first place here that I've been able to call home. And so much thanks to Reverend Kate for your thoughtful, creative, energetic, and committed mentorship. I'm so fortunate to know you and to have been able to experience and learn from your ministry. At my first service here in February of 2023, I talked about commitment. I pointed out that commitment is particularly important for religious traditions like Unitarianism that aren't organized around a formal creed. Rather than being united by doctrine, Unitarians center our relationships with each other. And those relationships are sustained by the commitments that we make. In that first message, I made some commitments to you. I promised to listen. I've learned so much from listening to your feedback and your concerns and your advice. The people in this congregation have so much wisdom to share. I committed to respect and learn from your religious traditions and experiences. During my time here, I've had opportunities to experience services on a range of religious and non-religious themes. I've attended a Hindu ceremony, joined several iftars during Ramadan, participated in collaborative interfaith services, accompanied a congregant to Friday evening Shabbat services at a nearby synagogue, and participated in pagan rituals, chanting, and sound meditations. I have been enriched by the spiritual opportunities that exist within and around the chapel. I promised to help connect the congregation to our Unitarian values and beyond. I've been with some of you to Unitarian conferences, meetings, and other events in and outside of London, including our district's Fuse Festival and our denomination-wide General Assembly. I said I would help you welcome everyone, making sure as many people as possible got to come through your front door to hear worship at this spiritual home for open minds. Helping you honor that commitment might have been the thing I've loved most about being here. I said I would try to challenge you just the right amount. I said that some of you might occasionally find me too direct, and others would find me not outspoken enough. I've heard at times that I've made some of you uncomfortable with my views, and others have quietly thanked me for standing up for a particular perspective or justice issue. This range of reactions is the hallmark of an inclusive congregation that's brave enough to welcome diverse opinions. At the same time, I asked for your feedback, and I'm grateful to have gotten it. Lots of it, both positive and negative, which I take as a sign of trust. Thank you for your openness. I said I would make mistakes, that I would say things clumsily, do insensitive things, that I would forget things I needed to remember, and that I would occasionally fall short. Mission accomplished. It's part of being human. Most importantly, I promise to worship with you, learn with you, celebrate with you, question with you, and when necessary, to grieve with you, and to do my best to ensure that we were both transformed and enriched by our experience together. These kinds of commitments, they're the core of community. Each of us is profoundly different from one another. We each have different values and different opinions. Sustaining community requires that we prioritize our relationships over our disagreements. It's looking into the gaps between us, and rather than trying to close them by becoming more similar, it's being willing to build bridges. It's constantly being open to the possibility of misunderstandings and conflict, but also being open to learning from each other and engaging in repair processes when necessary. One of the many gifts I've received from working with Reverend Kate has been her awareness that these pastoral connections between us are as important as any of the specific issues going on at the time. Regardless of what else may be happening, she never loses sight of the fact that this is a community of people in relationship, and those relationships need to be cultivated, prioritized, and nurtured. It makes me think of a quote she shared with me recently from Mary Allen Walden. This congregation is a community of ourselves. Its energy and resources are our energy and resources. Its wealth is what we share. And when we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm our lives within it. Before I wrap up, I want to leave you with a few last thoughts about being in community. Some advice based on my time here. First, find joy in this place beyond Sunday morning. Rosslyn Hill's Sunday morning services are so wonderful, but I've seen how enriching it can be when someone goes from a Sunday morning attendee to actively engaging with others at Sunday afternoon workshops, social events like the monthly community lunch, volunteer activities like the cold weather shelter, or evening services with their more intimate meditative feel. Look for chances to meet new people as you find new ways to engage. I've gotten such positive feedback from those of you who have started to form relationships through your involvement here, by immersing yourselves in chapel life more fully. If you're new and aren't sure where to start, please talk to Reverend Kate, who would be delighted to explore ways to connect you with the larger chapel community. Along those lines, ask for what you need. Usually the message from churches is that you should look for things the congregation needs and that it can be rewarding to help meet those needs. And that's true. But here I'm talking about asking for your pastoral needs. I've found that people can be reluctant to say, I need help, or ask the minister to discuss something that's weighing on them. But this is at the core of what ministers do. If you're looking for support, reaching out to the minister is not a burden. It's part of our job, and that outreach helps connect ministers to our communities. How much healthier would the world be if we were more comfortable asking for the help we need? To say, I'm struggling with this, or I could use a listening ear. Give it a try if you've been reluctant. The chapel is here for you. Third, every once in a while, be willing to be a little uncomfortable here. If you're part of a diverse community with people of different backgrounds, opinions, and different spiritual needs, and if you're open to those differences, you are going to feel uncomfortable from time to time. Appreciate that discomfort for what it is, a human, natural reaction to a huge world that we can't always control or shape the way we want. This is where we should be wrestling with fundamental moral questions about ourselves, the world, and our place in it. So challenge yourself to be uncomfortable now and again. It may mean you're in the right place with the right attitude. And finally, take care of each other. I don't need to tell you how much people yearn for connection, how we can wrestle with loneliness and isolation at times, how we can stress about the state of the world. In this kind of environment, we can't afford to take our chapel community for granted, and we can't afford to go it alone. Lean on each other. Make this community your community, and look out for one another. Many of you have already heard that the next phase of my ministry will take me a few miles down the road to Newington Green, where I'll be filling the vacant ministry position at New Unity beginning next month. So I won't be far. And I'll be looking forward to ways that our congregations might work together to support and strengthen each other and help nurture the Unitarian movement. Back at that first service 21 months ago, I shared a passage from the book of Ruth, a commitment that Ruth makes to Naomi, her mother-in-law, after her husband has died and Naomi tries to send Ruth back to her home country. Ruth tells Naomi, "Where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God." There will always be a piece of me here at Rosslyn Hill Chapel. Our spiritual journeys will remain connected. We will continue working together to make our fragile planet a better place. I'll always be grateful for your gifts and your support, and be invested in seeing this community thrive. May we continue to bless one another so that we can be a blessing to our world. Amen. And now for our final hymn. I've picked one of my favorites. It's number 42, "From the Light of Days Remembered," but I call it "The Fire of Commitment." John will play it through, and then we'll rise in body or spirit.
seated. Hello, everyone. For those who don't know, I am the Reverend Kate, spoken about earlier, with such kind words. Thank you. I also can't believe that it's 21 months, over a year and a half since Adam came to us, and it's been a really wonderful experience, most of all to realize that we can do this slightly unconventional approach of Adam being in America sometimes, working with us remotely, and then coming back every few months to be with us. We have really benefited, Adam, from your wisdom and your energy, your go, go, go attitude. And I know that we haven't always given you an easy ride. I've certainly been throwing work at you, and there have, of course, been other challenges. But we hope that you will always feel at home with us here, and will want to return here for a visit in the future. And we wish you all the very best for your future ministry at New Unity. Now, usually we have a blessing at the end of our service, and the worship leader gives the blessing, but in our community we know that we all have wisdom inside us, which means that we can all give blessings. So we're going to have a little ritual a little later where we're going to give a shower of blessings to Adam. So this is just a warning that that's coming. So have a think about any words or phrases, wishes and blessings that you'll want to give to Adam to send him on his way. But before we do that, we have a couple of gifts for you, Adam. So if you'd like to stand up. I might explain what they are in case you're curious. So we have a giant vegan cookie, which you can choose whether you want to eat it on your own or whether you want to share it with us. There's a Unitarian calendar for next year, so you can get planning already. And then the final thing is a very special, extremely rare and sought after Rosslyn Hill Chapel mug. So these are all for you to say thank you. So let's say thank you to Adam now. And so now to our ritual, and we say thank you to our friends at New Unity for inspiring us to do this. So what's going to happen is Adam's going to leave the chapel. He'll leave us as our ministry assistant, and he's going to go out of the side entrance while we shower him with our blessings. And then during the closing music, while we take the collection, by the way, he's going to enter through the main doors, and he's going to come back into the chapel as a friend of the chapel. So I hope you have your wishes and blessings ready as we ask Adam now to please leave us as our ministry assistant. So, blessings to Adam. Joyous blessings and good wishes. And now we will take our collection for the good work of this chapel and combat stress while the music plays.
Thank you, John, for the music. And thank you for our wonderful audio assistants who make everything run so smoothly. And all the mistakes are on our part, not on yours ever. Okay, and thank you all for being here, for our stewards, for Chris, for Angela, who also helped make this chapel run like clockwork. And most of all, thank you to Adam for being with us, being such an inspiration and such a friend. And please do join us in the side aisle for refreshments.